For generations living through harsh winters without central heating, people practiced a controlled window-opening habit that balanced warmth, air quality, and fuel conservation. This was not about comfort in the modern sense. It was about staying warm enough, staying healthy, and making limited resources last through long, unforgiving winters. Bedrooms, in particular, were managed differently from living spaces, and the window played a central role in that system. The practice was simple. A window opened slightly, often just a finger's width, even in freezing weather. The rest of the room was sealed tightly. Heavy curtains, shutters and draft blockers ensured that air exchange happened slowly and predictably rather than through uncontrolled leaks. This allowed stale, moisture-heavy air to escape while fresh, dry, cold air entered in small quantities. Now, cold air management actually reduced heat loss instead of increasing it, you know. It's a bit counterintuitive, but by controlling how air moved through a space, folks could keep the warmth where it was needed most. Humid air, well, it always feels colder and needs more energy to warm up, doesn't it? By allowing a controlled exchange of air, rooms stayed drier, which, believe it or not, made those lower temperatures feel warmer on the body. In practical terms, a bedroom kept at a lower but stable temperature needed less fuel through the night. Fireplaces were allowed to burn down, stoves were dampened, and the room's thermal mass, well, that carried the heat right through until morning. The slight window opening prevented condensation on walls, bedding, and wooden structures, which preserved both health and property. You can apply this today by cracking a bedroom window slightly at night while sealing doors and insulating the rest of the room. Use thick curtains or thermal drapes to control airflow direction. The goal is not ventilation by volume, but ventilation by balance. Sleeping environments were optimized for the human body, not the house. Historically, people did not attempt to heat entire homes evenly. Sleeping spaces were treated as microclimates. Beds were positioned away from direct drafts, often against interior walls. Bedding did the work that thermostats do now. Wool blankets, feather duvets, and layered covers trapped body heat efficiently, allowing room temperatures to remain lower without discomfort. The slight window opening supported deeper sleep by maintaining oxygen levels and preventing carbon dioxide buildup. This mattered in homes using coal, wood, or oil lamps, where air quality could deteriorate quickly. Morning headaches, congestion, and respiratory irritation were recognized signs of poor ventilation long before modern medicine explained them. These days, a modern equivalent would be lowering your nighttime heating while relying on good quality bedding and, keeping ventilation under control. This approach not only cuts down on heating costs, but also improves sleep quality and, it helps prevent that dry, overheated air that can really irritate your sinuses and lungs during the winter months. Back then, fuel efficiency depended just as much on moisture control as it did on insulation. One of the least discussed aspects of historical winter living, honestly, is moisture management. Damp air, you see, just steals heat away. Now, this practice also protected stored fuel. Firewood, for example, burns much hotter and cleaner when it's kept dry. Coal and peat perform better too, especially when you keep the humidity in check. Even food storage saw benefits, as mould and rot were reduced in well-ventilated spaces. So, today, this translates directly to energy efficiency. If your home feels cold, even when the heat is on, excess humidity may be the problem, you know? Controlled ventilation during the coldest, driest hours of the night can reduce indoor moisture without mechanical dehumidifiers, saving both energy and money. Health preservation was, honestly, a primary driver, not just a secondary benefit. Respiratory illness was a serious threat in winter long before antibiotics, right? Folks observed that poorly ventilated sleeping quarters led to chronic coughs, chest infections, and, well, prolonged recovery from illness. Fresh air was, in fact, treated as preventive medicine. The winter window habit reduced the spread of airborne illness within households by diluting pathogens overnight. Applying this now means, resisting the urge to seal homes completely during winter. A controlled exchange of air supports immune health, especially in households where people spend long hours indoors. Architecture and routine work together to make this habit effective. This practice did not exist in isolation. Homes were built to support it. You can recreate this system by treating nighttime as a different operational phase of your home. Lower heat output, isolate sleeping areas, manage airflow intentionally, and let insulation and bedding do the work. This approach really does mirror historical energy discipline, and it's especially effective during those long, cold spells. Modern heating systems, well, they actually benefit from this old-world logic. And contrary to popular belief, modern homes can benefit from this habit too, when it's applied intelligently. The key is intention. Don't leave windows wide open. And do not allow cross-drafts. One controlled opening in a sleeping space, paired with insulation elsewhere, is enough. This knowledge remains relevant for preparedness and resilience. For survivalists and preparedness-minded individuals, this habit offers more than comfort. It reduces dependence on fuel, extends heating reserves, and maintains health when systems are stressed or unavailable. In grid-down scenarios, this approach becomes essential rather than optional. Understanding how previous generations survived winter without modern infrastructure is not nostalgia. It is operational knowledge. The winter window habit is a small practice with outsized impact when applied correctly. This is knowledge worth preserving and passing on. If this guide added value to your understanding of winter living, historical survival methods, and practical energy efficiency, make sure you're subscribed to Warfield Prepper Chronicles. Like the video, share it with others who care about real-world preparedness and historical accuracy, and help keep this knowledge alive for the next generation of serious thinkers.